When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D. Melville.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Long Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. That's me on this network. And if you found me here, thank you so much. We are going to talk to, welcome to Red Fridays, by the way. Red, R-E-D, remember everyone deployed. And so I have my red vest on, and I want to remember, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment, there's so many people that are willing to stand on the wall. And so we want to be able to honor them. I want to be able to make sure that they know we appreciate that I appreciate them being there. Today we are going to talk about the myth of invincibility, sacrificing connection. And this is a topic that's come up for me in the last little while over and 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 over. It's come up with clients, it's come up with friends, it's come up with colleagues, and it came up with me personally in the last few months. So I want to talk about this. We're going to talk about it a whole bunch, probably for more than 1 week. So there's a lot here to dig into. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you finding us on Google TV, Apple TV, iHeartRadio, Spotify, wherever you're watching and listening. Please, if you're listening live, if you can, and I know there's a bunch of people that are at work that are listening that can't, or will pick it up in the replay, but if you can interact with me, engage with me, I would really appreciate that. Get into the chat room. If you happen to be here live, you can see my hands. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands. Get into the chat room. My producer will give you a link to get into my live studio audience if you want to be here. I would love to have you here. Please engage. Please let me know you're listening. Please let me know where you're listening from. And if you have comments or concerns or questions or whatnot, I'm a big boy. I've got thick skin. If you agree, tell me. That would be great. If you don't agree, tell me. I want that engagement. I want that to happen. So like I say, I really appreciate. By the way, I'm going to give you a heads up. If you don't have a journal or something to write on and something to write with, you've got about 30 seconds before I get going, and so into the meat of this, and so you've got some time to grab that. Highly recommend that. So Gordon D. Melville, I'm on a mission to change the lives of every man I meet, and by increasing their emotional quotient, by plugging them in and letting them in, creating a space that's safe and not judged, not full of judgment. And so I'm the founder and CEO of Jewel International, JEWIL, which is Gender and Empowerment with Intention Life Coaching. And I'm a champion mindset mentor is the way I describe myself, because there's a difference between high performance and champion. When you look at pro athletes, lots of them, if you're talking to people in the NFL and CLA, you're NFL and NBA or Major League Baseball or soccer, whatever it is, they're all elite athletes. They're all high performance. They're drafted. They're a pro athlete, but they're not all champions. So what's the difference between high performance and champion? If you don't know, reach out to me, engage, and I'll be happy to share that with you. I'm a multi-award winning, multiple times international best-selling author, #1 best-selling author. I'm a keynote speaker. About 4 weeks ago, beginning of the end of September, I guess, I was in Atlanta, Georgia, as a keynote for a He-Men conference. Thank you, Dr. Oliver Reed. Love being there. It was an amazing weekend with those gentlemen. All men. The whole place was full of men. It was unbelievable. I'm an energy coach, mindset and energy coach for a pro basketball team. I teach the 7 levels of emotional intelligence for men, and I serve entrepreneurial men and pro athletes. Just so you have a little bit of an idea who you're listening to. I do one-on-one. You can hire me to do one-on-one or group. I've got Box Inside Out programs. I've got a new men's thing coming that I can't share with you yet, but it's going to launch in the next few weeks. I'm very excited about. So I'm excited to have you find us. I'm excited to have you here today. And if you haven't heard it yet today, I love you and you matter. And I hear you and I see you. The world is better because you're here. We need you here. All right. I changed my look a little bit today. I didn't want it to be so, grandpa next to the roaring fire type deal, that fireside chat thing, because this topic, the myth of invincibility, sacrificing connection, I refer to it as, I say to guys, stop cheating. And guys have a visceral reaction to that because, if they're married or they're with a partner, they typically, if they've never stepped out, they protect that relationship, fiercely protect that relationship, and they have an instant reaction when I say that, stop cheating. And so but I'm not talking about cheating with another partner. I'm talking about cheating and being unfaithful to our relationships at home, with our job. I want to read you just what I had written for the ad for this show, because I think it talks about very, very succinctly about what I'm talking about. So excuse me for reading it, but in the relentless pursuit of success, men often buy into the myth of invincibility. It's a narrative that whispers seductive promises of unassailable achievement, a siren call that lures us into believing we can conquer the world without consequence. But let's cut to the bone here. This myth, this so-called invincibility, comes at a staggering cost. We're living in an era where the cult of busyness is glorified, where success often translates to sleepless nights at the office, missed family dinners, and neglected anniversaries. We've become unfaithful to our relationships, not because we're inherently flawed, but because we buy into this dangerous myth. We believe we can neglect our partners, our families, and our friends while we pursue the elusive dream of invincibility. We buy into the lie that our careers are more important, more urgent than the bonds we've cultivated over the years. Let's strip away the veil of pretense and dive headfirst into a topic many would rather sweep under the rug. It's time to confront the myth of invincibility and the havoc it wreaks on our lives, especially in the lives of men and those we profess to care about and love. Here's the harsh truth. The myth of invincibility, when embraced, leaves a trail of shattered hearts and fractured relationships in its wake. You're cordially invited to join the long-bearded guy, the founder and CEO of Jewel International, in this no-holds-barred exploration. We'll uncover the grim reality of sacrificing connection on the altar of invincibility. Buckle up, because we won't sugarcoat it. This is a raw, unflinching revelation of the toll this myth takes on our lives. Bring your journal and a friend or five, and let's dive into the deep end, into the untouched places we don't even admit to ourselves are there. Let's shine a 1 million candle watt flashlight in the corners and leave nowhere to hide. I dare you. Let's get after it. What we'll want to talk about today, and probably for the next week or so, the next couple of weeks, is this idea around I have to spend, we're entrepreneurs, my avatar entrepreneurs and pro athletes. I had to spend 60, 80, 100 hours this week at work. I'm an entrepreneur. There isn't anybody, I'm a solopreneur. There's no one else to give it to. Bullshit. It's something that we don't need to do. We tell ourselves that we need to. And as guys, we do this thing where we go to work, we get validated. We get told we're doing a good job. We get paid well. We get exalted. People tell us we're doing a good job. We get patted on the back. We get validated at work. We feel good about ourselves at work. And then we go home and the weirdest thing happens. The weirdest thing happens. We walk in the door and 50% of marriages fail. So maybe I suck as a husband. So that's an anxiety I have. And then my kids look at me and go, "You're not the boss of me and I hate you." And I go, okay, so there's no validation whatsoever at home sometimes. And I go, you know what? I'm going back to work. And what happens is we wear it as a badge of honor. Oh, I had to work 70 hours this week. At the cost of what? because nobody gets to the end of their life and at the funeral or on their deathbed, even on their deathbed, nobody goes, wow, you know what? I should have spent some more time at the office. They don't do that. What do? Most people will lament the things they didn't do more than the mistakes they made. I'm going to say that again. Most people lament the things they didn't do instead of the mistakes they made. Let that sink in. Because it's late. We've talked before about legacy. It's legacy we're pouring out every day. We want to do that at the office where no one really gives a crap and you be replaced just like that. You can be replaced at the office instantly. You can't be replaced at home ever. Let that sink in. You can be replaced at work, but you can't be replaced at home. People at home need us. I wrote another little piece here, and again, it's just a short little thing, but I don't want to mess it up. It says, you're a cheater. Me too once. Listen up. We're diving headfirst into a harsh reality that too many of us choose to ignore. It's time to strip away the sugarcoating and get real. You think you're on top of the world chasing that elusive career dream, but at what cost? Let's talk about the wreckage left behind when you put that job on a pedestal and gulp down the poison of that myth. You're not just climbing ladders, you're trampling hearts. Yeah, I said it. Prioritizing your career, your so-called success, while you leave a trail of shattered relationships in our wake. The myth that tells us it's worth it, you're invincible, it's a damn lie. Take a good look at the wake of broken promises, the echo of empty chairs at family gatherings, your kids growing up without you, your partner bearing the weight of your absence. Is that really the legacy you want to leave? You've bought into the lie that the hustle is all that matters, that sacrificing your personal life is a badge of honor. But let's be brutally honest here. That badge won't wipe away the tears of those we've hurt. It won't mend the bonds we've shattered. It's time to unmask the toxic myth, to open our eyes to the steep collateral damage we're causing. Reevaluate our priorities before it's too late. Success isn't measured solely by a corner office or a fat paycheck we get to take home. Real success includes those who stand by us, who love us, and who we've been neglecting. So, are we going to keep chugging that poison, or are we going to wake the hell up? The choice is yours, but remember, you can't buy back time, non-renewable resource, and those shattered hearts might never fully, truly heal. We need to pay attention. We need to wake the hell up. Really, truly, we do. This goes to the heart of our EQ. It goes to the heart of our emotional quotient. Why? Well, we'll talk about that through today's episode. But I want you to feel my heart. I want you to understand, hey, you know what? We can be replaced at work in a heartbeat. And as much as we love being there and they love us being there, maybe, and we're such a and we think we're a critical cog in the wheel, we could be replaced instantly. But at home we can't. I need to take a quick break here. Don't forget, as we go to this break, I want to do a quick shout out. But before I do that, don't forget to pause and breathe, to be present in the moment. We're going to talk about that a little bit later today, but present in the moment. Don't forget to pause and breathe. It'll help ground us. It'll help set us in a space. It'll help us process what we're hearing. This shout out is for Jose Escobar, is the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. I want to give a shout out to him and connect and check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership group to take your business to the next level. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up your virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today Entrepreneurs only, business people. If you're an entrepreneur with a history of success and you can fit your ego into a room, you might qualify. So you want to reach out to him, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's theentrepreneursbookshelf.com, and that's Jose Escobar. Thank you to all my sponsors, my founding partner sponsors. I really appreciate them. I can't do this without them. I'm looking for some more sponsors. We're going to talk about that later too. But as we go to break here, don't forget to pause and breathe. Thank you for being here. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. You're with the long bearded guy. That's Gordon D. Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email becomeahost@inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Gordon D. Melville on Inspired Choices Network. I am the long-bearded guy. At least that's how I'm known. It's getting a little bit long. If I stretch it out, and I tried to straighten it the other day, and I brushed it out, and it was almost to my belly button. I'm like, well, it's getting a little bit extreme, but anyway, it is long. All right, so we're talking about the myth of invincibility, sacrificing connection, which is what we're all about. We're humans. We need to be connected. We're built to be connected, and so we're sacrificing that connection by being unfaithful to our partners and our relationships at home by spending so much time at the office and at work and trying to justify that. So this all came about, or this started to be something that was into my awareness. You've heard me talk lots about awareness. We can't fix it until we're aware. Came into my awareness earlier this year when we moved, and in May we moved. And my wife and I, if you've ever moved, I hate moving with a passion. I hate it with a passion. I hate moving. But we were going through boxes and whatnot, looking at stuff. What do we throw away? What do we hold on to? Whatnot. But we came across a bunch of boxes that had books in it, or pictures in it. Pardon me. I've got lots of boxes of books. Don't you worry. But these were pictures in these boxes, and we were going through them, and we picture after picture after picture. I'm like, I'm not in any of these. I would look at my wife and say, am I behind the camera in this one? Like, why am I not in the picture? And I mean, you're talking about a time when there was no such thing as a selfie stick, right? There was no such thing as cell phones were just starting to come out. So we didn't have anything like that where you could all get in the picture. Somebody else had to take the picture for you. And so I'm looking at these pictures, and my wife and I were talking about it. And so where was I? Am I behind the camera in this picture? And my wife's like, no, you were in Florida, or you were in California, or you were in Vancouver, you were in Houston. You were in Milwaukee. You were in Cincinnati when that happened. I'm like, I realized I'm my avatar. What I realized was, wait a second, I spent 7 years on the road. I spent a lot of time. So while it was wonderful to be out and about and to make the connections I did, and it don't get me wrong, it was a really amazing learning time with I spent 3.5, 4 years with Grant Cardone, working with him, marketing him and preaching his stuff and doing inside training in dealerships and in businesses, troubleshooting and whatnot. But at what cost? It was good for the paycheck. It was good for the connections away from home. But what did I lose? And I was looking at these pictures going, wow, you know what? How much did I miss? Birthdays, anniversaries. How much did I miss by being on the road? How much did I miss by not being I've got 3 teenage sons. How much did I miss by not being right there? And we head fake ourselves by, oh, I'm providing. My job is to bring home the bacon. And I'm not saying we don't need to do that. We need to do that, but not at the expense of our relationships. And I understand, especially now with the way the world is and the way, and I'm in Canada, it's expensive. When we moved, our rent doubled, literally doubled. How do we do that? How do we? It's not a matter of which Mercedes am I going to put the gas in this week. It's not like that. This first world problem stuff. Some of it is, but food over our heads, roof over our head, food in our belly, clothes on our back, utilities and rent and mortgage and all the things that we all have to pay. That's regular living. But it's so expensive. A lot of homes are now two income families. The man and the woman, or the woman and the man, whatever. The everybody's contributing. The kids are contributing. Everybody's contributing to the expenses and the bills in the home. What is the struggle? The struggle and the challenge is what exactly? Why do we struggle to be present? Why do we struggle? I mean, aside from the fact that we're not validated at home, or we don't feel validated at home sometimes, maybe a lot of the time. That could be indicative of some other things. But if we boil it down, we struggle to be present right here, right now, because our minds are always toggling between anticipating risk and cultivating hope. Our brain is constantly toggling between anticipating risk and cultivating hope. Natural process. It happens for all of us. We're always waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're anticipating risk. What's that going to cost me? What's the risk to being able to step out and do that? What's the risk to step out and be an entrepreneur? What's the risk that we're calculating constantly, to go and do that instead of this? To choose to do this instead of that, to put ourselves out in a space where we're comfortable, to get to a place where we're comfortable being uncomfortable. What's the risk? We're calculating risk. And then we're always trying to cultivate hope. Why? Because that's what fuels us. Hope is wildly powerful. When we can see things can get better. When we're always looking for, it's all right, it'll get better. My wife does this with TV and movies. She'll watch something and we laugh, and I keep telling her, hey, we're going to take away your choosing privileges, but she'll do a thing where she'll start to watch and it's crap, but she wants, and as a nurturing human, she wants to try and make it better. And I keep looking at her going, you realize that's not possible, right? You can't make a TV show or a movie better just by willing it or wanting it to be there. And I know, but I want to try. I got to try. And I'm like, okay. So But we laugh about that with movies and TV, but in our regular world, in real life, we do the same type of thing. We're cultivating hope. We're trying to find hope. We're trying to cultivate that hope. If it's not there, we want to try and cultivate it. We want to manufacture it somehow. And how do we do that? There's lots of different ways to do that. And we're going to talk about that in another segment. But that's why we struggle. If we're looking outside of ourselves for validation, we're always going to be looking in the wrong place. If we're looking outside of ourselves for validation, we're always going to be out of luck. I heard it said, and you may have heard this before, if you always judge a fish by its ability to climb trees, it'll always suck, right? It'll always really lack. You know, what's wrong? What's the problem? We can't allow ourselves to be validated by anything other than ourself and Papa. And I would put more stock in Papa than I would in myself. And I call God Papa because of my relationship with him, if you're here for the first time. But Papa says we have infinite value, infinite worth, for no other reason than we are. For no other reason than we are. That way I'm not looking for validation from work or at home. I'm in both places to be of service. I'm in both places for who I'm supposed to be. At work, do I have a function? Yes, of course. Absolutely we do. Do I need to be there? Yes, I do need to be there. That's how we pay the bills and make money and bring home the bacon. We need to do that. Do I need to sacrifice my relationships at home by being at work more? No. And in the next segment, we're going to talk about this a little bit, because a lot of times we get stuck. Oh, God, I've got to. I have to. My boss says I have to. If we happen to be entrepreneurs, there's no one else to do it. I have to do it. I've got a little thing I want to challenge you with in the next segment. We need to take another quick break, but I want to do another quick shout out for Jose Escobar, who's the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about his morning and evening routine mastery program that's literally changing people's lives. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session today with Jose Escobar. And again, you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. Theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That program, if you're not doing some kind of routine morning and evening, you're not maximizing. You're fooling yourself. You're not getting the most out of your day. If you don't have some kind of a routine and routine mastery is what he teaches. What does that mean? It means nothing gets in the way of making that happen. It's interesting that a lot of this stuff blends together. When we talk about the myth of invincibility, sacrificing connection, that's part of what we're talking about. Connecting to what? Connecting to your relationships at home, connecting to you. When was the last time you stopped and connected to you? I want us to understand this is all connected. These pieces are all connected. We don't want to sacrifice that connection. We're humans. We need that connection. Setting up your morning and evening routine, mastering it, not just, oh, it's hit and miss, I get it sometimes. No, day after day after day after day after, consistently, persistently, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in. That's how you move forward. That's how growth happens. It's incremental maybe some days, but you know what? Forward movement is forward movement. Incremental is that, did you move forward? Yes, great. Congratulations. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Yes, perfect. But that doesn't happen unless we're intentional about the way we operate. Don't go anywhere. In the next segment, we're going to talk about The gift of being present. That's why it's called the present. It's a gift. We're going to talk about that and why and how. And anyway, don't go anywhere. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're with Gordon D. Melville, the long-bearded guy on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back. Don't forget to pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Everybody, welcome back. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. And today we're talking about the myth of invincibility. We think we're invincible, we're not, but sacrificing connection. And we've talked about what that means. We've talked about the struggle and the challenge and why that is, and the fact that we're distracted because we're anticipating risk and trying to cultivate hope. We've talked about why it's a problem. We've talked about where that sits us and where that puts us. And I jumped across it and I forgot to, you know what? You can connect with us on InspiredChoicesNetwork.tv. You can watch this as opposed to listen to it. If you want to do that, you can jump into there. By the way, like, love, share, subscribe to the Inspired Choices Network. It's a free download. It's a free app download wherever you download your stuff and wherever you listen to your things. But please do that. Please love, like, share wherever you find it on any of the platforms. We're on all the platforms, so wherever you find it, like it, love it, share it. That helps our algorithms and helps pay for the show. So thank you for that. I don't want to miss that. It's a great way to connect. It's a great way to encourage other people, and not just for my show, but there's some amazing hosts on this network. So you want to plug into them all, listen to them all. All right, so we want to talk about the gift of being present. Why, how, why do you want to be, why is it a gift? Because time is a non-renewable resource. We're not getting it back. Once we've spent it, it's gone. The beginning of this show is now over. It's now in the history books, right? It's this literal space right here, right now, is the only time we have. Later today is not promised. They say, well, tomorrow's not promised. Later today is not promised. Literally in the space, this is the only time we have. Think about that. So I want to encourage you in a couple different ways. I want to give you a couple quick, real easy things to be present in the moment, to make it easier to be present in the moment. But one of the major, easiest ways to be present right here, right now, is to leave your work stuff at work and leave your home stuff at home. So we do this thing where we lament when we're at work, we lament we're not at home. And when we're at home, we lament we're not at work. So we're really not present on either side. People go, oh, I've got to spend 60, 80, 90 hours. One of the first exercises I do with clients is to get them to account for every second of every day for 2 weeks. It's a pain in the bum, absolutely a pain in the bum, and they hate doing it. But once they do, and if you're in the bathroom for 3 minutes, I want to know. I don't need to know what you're doing in there, but you're accounting for all the time. And what everybody, 100% of them come back, even the pro athletes come back and go, Gord, crap, buddy, I waste so much time. There's so much stuff here. There's so much time that I'm not, and it doesn't mean, and I know Napoleon Hill said, we need to be doing the most productive thing in every given moment. But that doesn't mean we don't spend some time on the couch watching Netflix and eating popcorn with our family. That is the most productive thing we need to do. Why? Because it's helping with our connection. But when we're at work, focus at work. Don't let distractions happen. And if you need help with that, I know lots of people that can help, coaches that can walk you through and go, hey, I know people that, business people that tell me, and you're teaching people how to treat you, by the way. So if you make yourself available to everybody all the time, doesn't matter what time of the day or night they reach out to you and you answer them right away, what you're teaching them is your time is more important than my time. You're teaching them, hey, I'm always at beck and call for you. We're so worried about, oh, I'm going to lose it. No. If they can't wait, they're probably not a good, for me, it would be a Gord Melville client if they can't work inside. So, but again, we have to set the parameter. I have a friend that goes, Gord, and says to everybody, I check my emails at 8 a.m. and I check them again at 9 p.m. If you send me an email at 11 o'clock in the morning, don't expect an answer until after 9 p.m. because I'm not even going to know it's there. But does that make them more effective? Yes, because they're not distracted and running in 1,000 different directions trying to put out fires and answer all these different things. There's processes that you can use that can make you more efficient. But once you're done with your day, you'll get way more out of in your day if you do it that way. Way more efficient. But then as you leave work, you drop your work stuff at the door. You don't bring it into the house. And when you're at home, you focus there. You focus on the people and the relationships that are there. They deserve that. That's the most important part of our life. Those connections, fostering those connections, being close, being able to be, the kids can tell. The significant other, they can tell if you're not here. You're not really present. You physically, obviously, you're in the room, but that doesn't mean you're there. Right? You're sitting on the couch or you're sitting at the dinner table and you're thinking about all these different things you could be doing at work. Or you're working with problems at work, trying to sort out, you know what, maybe I could get that guy to do that job, or maybe that's not present. We need to be present. It's a gift. It's a present. So a couple of real quick things in terms of that help us be more, so like I say, focusing, leaving work at work and home at home. Does that mean you don't share stuff with either side? No, you have to still do that. You still have to do that. Right? Is there going to be overlap? For sure. You're going to talk about your home stuff with your colleagues at work, and you're going to talk about work stuff with your colleagues at home, but you're not focused there. It's just general conversation that you're just sharing. That's connection. And that's okay. But when we start to do things where I'm worried about, well, you know, did I turn the kettle off before I left the house? I got 3 loads of laundry to do. I can't be thinking about that when I'm at work because it's distracting. And when I'm at home, I can't be thinking about, you know what, I got these 3 projects on the go. If I set them up this way, that's doing work stuff at home. So I want to make sure that we separate the two. Anyway, so here's just a half a dozen quick ways, right? I'm just going to give them to you quick. So real easy, simple stuff. Focus on not being distracted by anything. Don't be distracted by, there's so many things that can pull us in 1,000 different directions, especially now. Focus on your breathing. Stop and focus. I had said earlier, can you be alone with yourself? Can you spend time by yourself? Focusing on your breathing in and out, in and out. Is it shallow? Is it deep? Are you letting the stale air from deep in your lungs? Because if you're breathing too shallow, you're not getting a good, your oxygen, the oxygen your body needs, all your organs need, your brain needs, your heart needs, your lungs need. If we're shallow breathing, we're not bringing it in enough. Pay attention, focus on your breathing. Do some breathing work, breath work. If you need some help with that, reach out. Meditate. Most people go, oh, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, right? My brain, because my brain gets, again, but again, nothing that we do the first time is easy. It's always going to be hard. It's always, because it feels different, it feels strange. So to be able to go, oh, you know what, it's too hard. It'll get easier the more often you do it. Sometimes people, and whatever works for you. I've heard people say, and I like to listen to some deep meditation type music, no lyrics, no words, just the sound. And sometimes I've got some things that help with gamma and whatnot, some of our vibration stuff in our mind that's not even really music, it's just noise and sound. It's like white noise a little bit, right? But it helps us in the moment. It gives us something to focus on, so that now I do a lot of visualization when I meditate. I'm thinking about what and visualizing what my life is going to be when I get where I want to go. What does that look like? What does it smell like? I know a lady that lives in a home now that she said, Gord, I had, before it was ever here, she had it built for herself, but she said, before it was ever here, I had held house parties there. I'd had Thanksgiving with all my friends. I'd baked cakes in the oven. I'd slept in the bed. I knew what it smelled like. I knew what it felt like. And when it manifested and she actually had it live, it was exactly what she'd been thinking. She was already there. But to do that when we're meditating is very powerful. And it helps us focus on being right here, right now. Limit time on social media. And we've all done it, right? I do it all the time. You get on TikTok, you get on Instagram, you get on some stuff or on, what is it? It's X now, not Twitter. But you get on and you're just scrolling and scrolling, and the next thing you know, it's been an hour or an hour and a half. We go, oh crap, right? So being able to limit the time on social media. Matter of fact, have a detox day or a detox weekend. I challenge you, can you go longer? Can you go longer than a weekend without your phone, without your electronics? Completely unplug. Very powerful way to get present in the moment. Hey, Mrs. Kirkpatrick, great to see you. Stay connected with your body is another way to be present right now, right here, right now. Keep a gratitude journal. You know, I'm a big journal guy. I write in 5 different journals every day, and I have for almost 35 years. But keep a gratitude journal. It's really, really, it helps you focus on what the good parts of the day are. What were the good pieces today? And it doesn't have to be some monumental thing. Maybe it's a smile from one of your kids. Maybe it's a hug from somebody. Maybe it's a look from somebody. Maybe it could be 1,000 different things. The sun coming up. I got to see the sunrise or the sunset. Keep a gratitude journal. Like I say, also keep a general journal. I keep multiple journals. But then the last one for this quick thing, because I have to take another break, is understanding that you don't have all the answers. You don't have all the answers. You're never going to have all the answers. Is that okay? Is that all right? Are you okay with not knowing everything about everything? The more I read 5-7 books a month, every month, and I have for almost 35 years. But the more I learn and the more I grow, the more I realize I don't know. There's so much I don't know. And that's okay. I'm all right with that. Understand we don't have all the answers. You're never going to have all the answers. Asking why is a fool's errand. It really is. We may never ever know. And can you be okay with that? I need to take another quick break, but you know what? I want to just real quick, a shout out for myself. If this connects with you, or you're learning stuff and there's things here and concepts that you go, I need to dig deeper into that. I need to find out. I need to ground myself. I need to figure out what my worth and value is. I need to understand deeper some tools and strategies to be able to deal with my life. Please reach out. Again, you can hire me for one-on-one. I've got group. I've got something called Boxed Inside Out, and that's a program that's designed for men. But recently I was challenged. Hey, I know you do that for men. Can you do that for women? Like, you know what? Maybe. So that starts on Monday. A Box Inside Out specifically for women. If you're a woman that wants to ground and put tools in your toolbox and learn and grow, intentionally grow, it's only an hour a week. It's 6 weeks long, and there's so much stuff in there. I'm so excited. I'm going to learn a ton. They're going to learn a ton. It's going to be amazing. If you want more information about that, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Connect with me. And again, I'm looking for. I'm so thankful for my sponsors. I can't do this without them. They're an integral part of my programming. And if you'd like to be amongst those sponsors and have us and me help support your business through my network, which goes out 450 platforms multiple times a week, almost 10, 12 times every week, reach out and let's see if there's a good fit. I don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up when we come back. We're going to do a quick call to action that's going to be amazing. Don't go anywhere. Don't forget to pause and breathe, to ground yourself. Pause and breathe, to ground yourself, to be in the moment, process what you're hearing. You're with Gordon D. Melville. That's me, the long-bearded guy on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You're with Gordon D. Melville, long-bearded guy on Inspired Choices Network. Hey Lizzie, great to see you. All right, so as we come to the final strokes here, we're talking about the myth of invincibility, sacrificing connection. We need that connection. So I want to just quick wrap. What's the call to action this week? What are 3 ways you'll commit to yourself to be more present this week? What are 3 ways you'll commit to yourself to be more present this week so that you give yourself the gift of connection with the people around you, with yourself first, and then with the people around you, more specifically at home? That's what counts. Those are the relationships that count. You can't be replaced at home. You can be at work. And that's we want to focus there. So, and you can send that to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com, thelongbeardedguy. Don't forget the thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. What are the 3 ways you'll commit to yourself to be more present this week? And you can share it. You don't have to share it. If you want the accountability, you can do that with me. Next week, Friday, October 27th, same time, same great place, same great beard. Beard anyway. But next week, we're going to talk about betraying trust when personal relationships and job commitments collide. Betraying trust when personal relationship and job commitments collide, because this is such a huge topic. I could talk about this type of thing for hours and hours. I have with clients and with people, because having us understand, hey, you know what? There's some real deep pieces to this. Like I said, nobody ever lays in their deathbed and goes, crap, I should have spent some more time at work. We don't do that. We want to spend time at home. We want the relationships. We want that connection. And so we're going to explore it some more, because we're betraying the trust. As guys, we are, and again, guys don't have the market cornered on doing that same type of thing. We all do it, but we all need to put the tools in the toolbox when we're feeling healthy and when we think everything is going well. It's like buying insurance. You got to do it when you're healthy, because when you don't need it, because when you do need it, you don't qualify anymore. And the same type of thing with this kind of stuff. We need to put the tools in. If you're a woman and a lady, and you want to intentionally grow, you want to find your worth and your value, really truly understand what it is so that you can generate the mindset that you need, reach out to me. You need to be part of this box inside out. It may be a one-off. I may not ever do it again, because women aren't my avatar. I'll work with women for sure, but my focus is men. My heart is for men, because we by and large, we don't have it. We're way behind on our EQ, way behind. But reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. I think there's 3 spots left, I think. But reach out to me. If that's of interest to you, you want to do that, reach out. The cost is negligible. It's very small. But what you're getting out of it, the grounding you'll get out of it, the tools and strategies you'll learn are way, way, way worth a gazillion times the amount of money. So we're going to talk about this stuff again. Betraying trust when personal relationships and job commitments collide. Don't forget to figure out for yourself. Spend time meditating. Spend time paying attention to your breathing. Spend time journaling and in gratitude. Look at the things that are good in your life. What's working? Stop focusing on what's not there. It's not lack, it's abundance. It's not negative, it's positive. What are the positive things? We can all write a list of a bunch of negative crap. We can all do that. And if that's where you focus, guess what's coming into your life? Oh, that's right, negative crap. More negative crap. Why? Because that's where we're focused. Focus on the positive. This week, be courageous. Be unapologetically you. Make it another great week. You have the power to do that. I love you. Massive hugs. Live out you abundantly and with intention. Don't just let it happen to you. We'll see you next week. Don't forget I love you. You matter. I see you. I hear you. I love you.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs!